anyone tried that dogfighting strategy game that was shown on FS Expo on the showcase thing, product showcase? Or does anyone even know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I forget what it was called, and I never tried it.
It's called Scramble Battle of Britain, and it's on the Steam, a free demo on Steam. I gave it a go. It's pretty complicated. It's like just, I mean, well, the game itself's not complicated, but the controls and moving your like line of where your next move's going to go to. It's really hard to move in 3D when you just got like a joystick to move it, basically. I was spending more of my time just moving this line around than actually playing the moves, you know. But it's got potential. I just think it needs better controls. I see the guy that's creating it on the gravel server. I did a couple of replies to him. I said I'd try it. I'm going to give it another go and then draw some feedback up for him, because it's in alpha, you know. He probably gets feedback, so it'll help, I suppose, any new player feedback. I don't know what it's like developing a game when you know how it all works. You're coding it, you know exactly what to do, but give it to a new person and it's it's hard to take a step back and see it as a new eyes, you know, when you're so close to it. But even if it was really polished and perfect controls, I don't know if I'd play it, honestly. It's, I don't know, not my cup of tea, really.
It's not Flight Simulator, is it?
It's well, no, obviously, but it's got it's definitely got simulation aspects, like the way the plane moves. Like if you get yourself into a certain attitude, then your next moves are limited to what would be possible. So it is like, you know, simulating within the bounds of what's physically possible. It's quite clever. It's quite good. You could get really good at it. You know, you could, if you understand it and master it, you could get really good. It's like high skill ceiling to it. I guess if it was multiplayer, it would be, you know, quite competitive. And just the amount of options you got, the amount of strategy you can play, and because it's turn-based, you can really think about it and take your time. So yeah, it's very strategic and tactical. But yeah, I don't know. I think I found a bug where I was in a dive, and my only options were, because my airspeed was like 65. So you don't get the authority over the control surfaces to put any hard moves. But I was in a dive for like 6-7 turns straight, so that's every turn's 3 seconds. So that's like 20-30 seconds in a dive, and every next 3 seconds the speed was just stuck on 65. So I couldn't pull out of this dive. I just went basically straight into the sea, and I couldn't pull out of it. Every move, the range of my next move was so limited that I could basically just go down, hit the sea. And I think that was a bug. It should, like, when you're going down with full power, the speed should have risen, so each subsequent turn would give me more control, more range of the pitch up, nose up, or whatever I want to do. But it was just stuck, I think. So yeah, probably a bug. Well, that was my last round. I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm not playing that again for now. Done my head in.
Sounds like me and the Bronco when I make a turn that's without enough airspeed. It just goes down into the ground.
Down, you go.
Yeah, well, the way I got into that situation was I pulled up into like a steep climb, and the airspeed got lower and lower, and it actually sort of stalled, and the wing tipped over, and that pitched me down without me wanting it to. But during the turn, it pitched down, and that's what made me realise actually, yeah, there is real, you know, trajectory and physics going on it, Newtonian physics kind of thing behind the scenes. So it's good in that respect. Not arcadey. It's like you got to think about what the machine's doing and what power setting you've got and what you've just done and what you're trying to do and where you're trying to point and where you're trying to come out of your turn and head based on what your enemies are doing and where they're going to be next. You know, you've got to shoot ahead of them. So when your bullets get there, they move into your path of your bullets. So you've got to lead your bullets in front. So it's quite hard to visualise all this in 3D when you're moving the camera around to try and get a good view of where that point in space is. It's complex. It's not a casual game, that's for sure. Oh yeah, one thing that was pretty cool is I was behind an enemy and I shot them from behind and killed them, and their wing broke off. And then on my next move, their wing, like I went through the debris of their wing and it sliced my wing off. And I went into a spin and crashed. So you got to like move out of the way of debris.
Yeah, every once in a while I have to load up IL-2 in VR and get in it with my motion rig and all, just to get satisfaction of shooting things down and watching the debris come off. And most of the time I just put planes in front of me that can't shoot back. So basically it's target practice. But it is uncannily realistic how some of that stuff falls off, come towards you.
Is that in DCS?
Well, IL-2 is what I've been doing it in. I can't get DCS to run anymore. I had a problem with my account and I never could straighten it out, so I gave up. But IL-2, I do fly from time to time just for shooting.
So I saw an Av Angel video this morning, and she was talking about a 120, I think it was. So I don't know if that's out yet.
Yeah, I've got that one. It's on the marketplace.
What do you think of it?
I quite like it because it's fairly easy to fly, so that suits me. But I think for anyone who's experiencing helicopters will find it a bit too simplistic, which is pretty much what Av Angel said as well.
Yeah, it was kind of her summation of it.
Well, there's certain planes in this sim and helicopters now as well that once you get them, it's hard to fly other things. And this Huey's my go-to helicopter now. Can't get enough of it.
Anybody get
Yeah.
any turbulence off these mountains?
A little bit. Feels like it.
There's the ocean.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's so many of us, and I have to get back in there and not drop off that.
I came over that ridge and there's a big downdraft.
I keep diving every time I switch to the. So hard.
There is someone's in a web browser version of the marketplace, but I can't remember the link offhand.
Yeah, market.place or something fairly simple like that. I have it somewhere as well. It's like a day behind, but they do a daily API scrape. It's pretty cool. Yeah, now I have vertical space, but I don't have left and right. That's a hard shot to keep. Yeah, just go down to the river.